sensation.
Good morning, it is now day 2 of the challenge, Saturday, and we are headed for Scotland. We're currently in Carlisle, about 20 minutes from the border into Scotland, and all 3 cars are still running. I'm afraid we didn't really film all that much last night really, because obviously it was dark and the cameras wouldn't pick up anything, and to be honest, yesterday didn't quite go to plan with how we thought it was going to go filming wise. The plan had been that we'd stop in Wales and get some nice off-board shots from the 3 cars driving past, but due to time, traffic, everything else like that, it didn't quite turn out that way. But today is a much less intense day of driving. There's about 280 miles to cover, whereas yesterday was about 400 or so. After yesterday's driving though, I see no reason to believe why these cars wouldn't make it. The Smart's doing well, the Seat's doing well, the Daihatsu, a bit smoky, but it's still doing well. We did see Matt out there this morning actually putting some oil in the car, just preparing it, making sure it wasn't drinking through too much. But yeah, all 3 running extremely well at the minute, considering they're obviously under £1,000, which in today's market really is not a lot of money to spend on a car.
Day 2 picked up where day 1 left off, with more motorway miles to cover. However, day 2 would see us remain primarily in one country: Scotland.
So, good morning, and we come to you this morning from Scotland. We have been on the road for about half an hour, and we are currently on the motorway still, but we have much nicer scenery than we did in England, which I'm sure Jake's editing magic will appreciate you now. Rolling hills, beautiful, breaks in the cloud for the sunshine, it's lovely. We are currently still in convoy. Matt and Kaz, green team, are in front of us, and Joe and Louise, blue team, are behind us. And we are just nicely having a little jaunt along. Falkirk Visitor Centre is our aim, which we should be there for about 12:30, so lunchtime. Quick stop, tot up the points from the bingo, among other things, yesterday, because we were so tired we didn't do it last night. And then a little bit of an easier drive back down through Scotland back into England again for our second overnight stop. I feel like this day is going to go much quicker than yesterday. Yesterday we were on the road for kind of about 10 hours.
Almost constantly with very few stops.
Yeah, I think we really, other than the first 2 quite quick succession stops very early on, we then didn't stop again till Wales, a very brief stop in Wales, another brief stop to get petrol, and then we were at the hotel last night. It was a long constant drive the second half of yesterday. But yeah, I think today will be easier, today will be prettier, and hopefully a little bit more relaxed. It's beautiful, it's really beautiful. Very nice to be back. Day 2 in the Smart car, and we're in Scotland. How's it going, Ben?
Very well.
Very well.
We are moving forward. The Smart car's in one piece. Louise and I are still talking. Yes. All is well.
Just had a stop at a farm shop. Very posh. Didn't buy anything. Too expensive. It was very nice.
The other team's bought stuff for snacks.
Yeah, we still got lots of snacks, so we didn't need to. And there wasn't any fancy water for Joe to buy.
And the cheapskates.
Yeah. It's very good. It's very scenic. Driving around in Scotland at the minute.
Yeah, we're about 40 minutes away from the castle.
Falkirk. It's not a castle, it's a bridge.
Not a castle.
I think it's a bridge.
A bridge?
I believe so. Everything's going pretty well. The Smart car's behaving itself. It's doing admirably.
It's got all its oil, all its water.
Yep, checked the oil this morning and we hadn't dropped any, and the oil leak seems to have stopped. So
There's nothing more we can ask for, really.
No, it's doing really well.
It doesn't really like hills, but
No.
it's a Smart car.
Scotland's suspension is still very hard. But no, we're doing really well. We're really pleased. And we're managing to keep up with the other guys today. We haven't lost them yet. We lost them a couple of times yesterday. One though, we took a diversion, which meant that we actually got ahead of them. So.
Right, morning everyone, day 2, Team Green here. We are on the M74 heading up to Falkirk now, which is our lunch stop. Staying at the Falkirk Wheel. It's really quite pleasant today. The roads are quiet. We can see some nice breaks in the cloud. It's brightening up, and the cars are going fine. So mainly good from our point of view. We are losing a bit of oil though in our Daihatsu. Having a little look at the PCV valve this morning, and it's a bit gummed up, so we're going to grab some brake cleaner later and clean that through. It's probably breathing a bit too heavily at the moment. But other than that, not too bad. The consumption's not bad. I think the other cars are doing okay as well. Louise was worried about oil consumption in the Smart, but that seems to be okay. Yeah, so all good. We'll give you an update when we stop at Falkirk for lunch. Should be a bit of a shorter day today, so that'll be quite nice for everyone. We did about 10 hours on the road yesterday, so catch up with you in a bit.
Situated amongst the rolling hills and populated communities of Scotland is the Falkirk Wheel, an amazing structure built to join the Forth and Clyde Canal with the Union Canal. Previously there had been 11 locks where the wheel now stands that took almost a day to navigate through. These had fallen into disrepair by the 1930s and were dismantled in 1933, leaving the two canals unconnected. It wasn't until 1994 that the concept of a boat lift was put forward, with many ideas being thrown about, but eventually a wheel was decided upon, but it had to be more than just a wheel. This board shows the inspiration behind the design along with some of the facts and figures of the wheel. Pause the video here if you wish to read more. It was opened in 2002 by Her Majesty the Queen and stands at 35 metres tall. Each gondola, that's the tub the boat sits in, weighs 600 tonnes and can contain 500,000 litres of water. Even with all this weight, it is remarkably economical, as each turn uses 1.5 kilowatt hours of energy, about the same as 8 average kettles, which, for the scale of the thing, is massively impressive. It's a great feat of engineering and one of only 2 working boat lifts in the United Kingdom. On site is a cafe where we had some lunch and introduced some of the team members to Iron Brew. There is also a very well stocked gift shop. Outside is this sculpture of a horse, the traditional way of powering an arrowboat, and indeed much of industry before steam and combustion took over. Our stop at the Falkirk Wheel was a flying one, as there was something else we wanted to visit whilst we were in Scotland. These are the Kelpies, a sculpture and monument to horse-powered heritage across Scotland that was opened in 2014. They are named after Kelpies, a waterborne, shape-shifting spirit that inhabits lochs in Scottish folklore. Whilst the folklore mentions that these spirits can take human form, they are most often depicted as a black horse-like creature, hence the sculpture's design. The Kelpies represent the lineage of the heavy horse of Scottish industry and economy, pulling the wagons, ploughs, barges and coal ships that shape the geographical layout of the Falkirk area. Fun fact, the horses have been named Duke and Baron.
So there's the sculpture in the background, but there's one more thing we need to do before we leave Scotland, because we're heading back into North East England now, and that is put this little sticker on the car. Job done. Let's go.
Soon we were back on the road, headed for England.
So
So just left the Colitis and now heading towards Edinburgh. I think the plan is that we're going to head down the coast road. Sounds quite a fun idea, really.
It's a bit more
Scenic.
yeah, scenic, picturesque rather than the motorway the whole way.
Yeah, we've done a lot of motorway miles this whole trip so far, really. So yeah, it'd be nice just to have a bit of road where it isn't just motorways, if I'm honest.
It smells here though.
It does smell a bit, but there's a bit of a quarry up there, so
Garlic bread and cars and their consoles.
that's where it's the plants in that car.
Yeah, but no, the plants are making
Oh,
the onion and the garlic. It's coming back to we have also temporarily lost everybody
traffic lights.
at roundabouts. But we will catch them up.
Bit of a mid-journey update then. We've lost everybody. They were ahead of us and apparently they're now behind us. And if you want an idea of how far behind us, I'm not sure how well this is showing up on the screen, but just about here is where we are. We are very much on the eastern side of Edinburgh, heading down the A1 towards Berwick on Tweed. Everyone else, however, are just about here. So evidently things have not gone that well for them. I have no idea how we've ended up with such a distance between us, but this is where we are at the minute, just heading on the A1 down towards England. So Genevieve's at the wheel of the Seat at the minute. Currently we've got 564 miles under our belt, almost 565 even. How would you say the journey's going so far?
It's fine. We can see the sea. And,
There's a sign.
Scottish Corners now. We just ended. So we're on our way back into England quite rapidly. It was just us after a bit of a confusion with
Motorways
the
and
others
things.
here.
Yeah, they all started heading back towards Glasgow, whereas we should have been all heading towards Edinburgh and Berwick and everything.
I think it's a Google Maps problem, but
Yes, I think so.
we have
But-
a lovely view right now.
Yeah, look at that. There goes my phone. There we go, 22 miles to Berwick, and then that's us back in England. We're still in Scotland at the minute, probably will be for at least another 20 or so miles.
Yes. We've had a nice quiet journey actually since we were on the A1.
Sorry, old fire engine. Bingo takes priority with a lot of this stuff.
It's the first thing we talk about when we get out of the car.
Seriously, it is. It's been a really important part of this journey. I think it's what's kept us all sane so far. To a
Actually
point.
tick interesting things off though, like trains and
But yes, this is how our journey is going at the minute. Well, here's the final road-based update, I guess. Genevieve and I are on the way to the hotel. We're probably about 15-ish minutes away from it now, which isn't too bad. We're staying at Scotch Corner, I think it's called, off the top of my head. So far, in total, we have covered 679 miles, which obviously we've still got a few more miles to go yet, so it will still keep going. But yeah, we've worked out tomorrow we need about 310 miles, give or take, which isn't too bad given how far we've driven so far. Hopefully tomorrow should be a much easier day. I said that about today, and we haven't actually managed to get any off-board shots of the cars apart from when we've left the hotel car park this morning. But never mind. Today we visited the Falkirk Wheel and yes, the Kelpines. Sorry, it's been a long day, my mind's in different places. And as you can see, it's quite nice in here, nicely illuminated. And you're finding the drive tiring. Still, as we say, 15 more minutes and we'll be there. Matt, Kaz, Louise and Joe, they're somewhere back there in the darkness. Not back there, they are much, much further away. They've probably got at least another 35 minutes, 40 minutes yet. They suffered a wrong turn around Edinburgh and that's put them back a bit, and now they're caught in all the traffic around Newcastle. So yeah, good luck to them, I suppose. But this is where things are. We're very much looking forward to the hotel and a bit more of a relaxed evening this evening. We didn't really get much of it last night, to be honest. There we go, 11 miles now.
We had arrived at Scotch Corner and a short while later we were joined by the Daihatsu and the Smart.
What time do you call this?
About 5 minutes after you.
Dinner time.
Excellent. Dinner time, that's a good answer.
A local pub was found and we set off for it in search of food. We were also joined on this evening by Ian of Fixing Assets with Ian and Steve of Pentagram Motorsport, who'd come along to show their support for our challenge and its cause. With the sun down and evening meal sorted, that brought an end to the Scottish leg of our 1,000-mile trip.